I gotta start these shows with some music. This shit is too quiet. It's always I'm sitting here. I gotta get some ones in the chat so that you guys confirm you can hear me. We gotta get off on the right foot, if you know what I mean. Play some Rammstein. Give me a one in the chat. In the meantime, one in the chat if you can hear me, and if you can see me and all that shit. Meantime, join the Discord, because on Discord you can ask me a question. You go to library on the Discord, or you go over here, okay, and you can paste your question. You can share a picture of your work. You can tag me. You can ask me something. I'm gonna review it. You can send me your portfolio, whatever. I'm gonna talk about it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be eating my crackers by the spoonful. Okay, one in chat. Let's get the ball rolling this time. No bullshit. Hey guys, that was pretty smooth. Normally it takes me 15 minutes to set this shit up, and I've done it 1,000 times, so it's embarrassing. Let's see what we got. Somebody just posted a picture of a car. Low poly here. It kind of looks like it's low poly around this thing. Maybe it's just a low resolution picture. It looks like somebody's been beating this thing with a baseball bat. Over here, it kind of looks dented. You see what I mean? And I feel like this should probably be a straight line, this reflection here. So I feel like it's a little bit busted up. You know, guys, here's a thought, a recommendation. Yeah, prison. Go to prison. There's a Blender Discord prison, okay, or Blender prison Discord. That's our Discord. And this is where you can ask me fucking questions. You can hang out with the other people in chat here. You can get notifications and shit like that. You can get some feedback. But you're going to end up in solitary confinement if you don't read the rules. Alright, so read the rules when you join the Discord. But guys, when you send me a picture for review, also attach a reference picture so I can see what you were trying to create. So I get a little bit of context. Because otherwise I can just comment the first things that come to my mind. But maybe I'm totally off the... Guys, what the fuck happened? Can you hear me? It told me that OBS disconnected for a second, so just let me know if everything's working properly. Thomas Collin in the house. The fucking judge is here with us, guys. You better be on your best behavior. Yeah, tell me if you can hear me. Something froze. I think it's like I told you guys, I'm having some troubles with the VPNs. Because if I turn it off, then it doesn't work at all. So my system is entirely dependent on VPNs. So I fucked something up on my computer, I admit it. Yo, Arijan, I just found your channel. Love your energy. Good work. Love the tutorials. Thank you, my friend. There was a jump. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we're back. What the fuck was I talking about before the stream got cut? Yeah, I said give me some context when you request a little bit of feedback. And here's a portfolio from Umair Gayu. No, his Umair Ahmed. Here he is. Look. Umair Ahmed. Where's that from? Guys, tell me in the chat, where are you from? How old are you? And do you have a girlfriend? Yes or no? Okay, 45 followers. You need to crank that shit up. See, this is the thing. You don't have to have skills to be able to get some followers. Alright? You don't really have to be that good. You can just make content which is kind of interesting and people are going to watch it and people are going to follow you. And then all of a sudden you got 4,500 followers just like that. And then if you talk to somebody, they're going to recognize you. They're going to be they're not going to recognize you necessarily from your content, but they're going to see that you make content, you're somebody. And then they want to talk to you. And this is how you network with people. This is how you get jobs and shit like that. 3D artist, product visualization, okay. This is pretty cute, right? It's a good use case for the product. See, some products, guys, or some pictures, I can't really give you much feedback because there's nothing really obvious to point out about it. There's not really any improvements that come to my mind immediately when I look at it, which I could suggest. I think it looks pretty cute here. You also got a variation. This is pretty important as well. So if you this is the thing, guys, if you make a product, if you do something, you want to milk that shit for content. So, for example, he made this microphone right here, and he's got one variation here, and then he's got another variation here, and he could have easily put together 3 more variations. So now you have more shit to look at on the profile. So if somebody's checking out your profile, they have more stuff to see. They have more stuff to notice that might catch their attention. It's even a different environment, different lighting scheme. This is good. The environment is nice. Always try to build a little environment for your product. Let's see the watch. These are the thinnest fucking hands that I've ever seen in my life. That shit is thinner than a hair. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way though. What do we say, guys? Also in the chat, help me out, because chat can sometimes give better feedback than me. This ain't about me sharing with you my unlimited wisdom here, because I'm not God, alright? I'm just a dude that makes fucking videos about 3D modeling. But somebody can come up with better ideas than I can, for sure. So that's why you gotta be in the chat, watching the chat, and contributing. That's why you gotta be in the Discord in the prison, so you guys can exchange some feedback with each other as well. Because who knows? Maybe I can't say nothing smart to you, but somebody else will. What am I eating? I'm eating crackers, and I'm eating them with a spoon because if I eat them with my hands are gonna get all greasy and I'm gonna fuck up my computer. No, it's crackers, look. Something's off about this bedroom. The style seems it seems unlike anything I've ever seen, because of all these textures on the, you got like this texture for the mattress, which is weird, and then you got a carpet with another kind of texture, and a blanket with a totally different texture, and pillows with a totally different texture. So it seems like it's kind of, they don't really blend together too well. That's my opinion anyway. I'm not a professional interior designer, so maybe some new age fucking... You know that time when they had these guys, they made like this, they prepared a venue where they were serving food, and it was like luxury, premium food, Michelin star and all this shit. And they would invite all these food gurus and all these food experts in there to try this food. And it was like little weird shit, right? Little weird servings. You know how fancy people like to eat all this fancy shit. But this trick was that the food was just McDonald's, or just fast food, cheap shit, taken apart and presented in a way that makes it look super fancy, three Michelin star restaurant type of shit. And all these food experts come in there and say, oh my god, it's the best combination I've ever seen. You guys are so creative. I feel so fancy eating this shit. I would pay $300 for this meal. And they told him. And they're like, what the fuck? So they played him. So I bet you there's an interior designer out there somewhere who'd look at this and say, oh my god, this is the most amazing combination I've ever seen. It really reminds me of a blend of the Victorian era and a gulag. Maybe something like that. But to me, in my humble opinion, the textures on this fucking bed don't seem to get along too well, especially since it's the carpet. Anyway, I'm splitting hairs now. This is good. It's pretty cute. There's a black hole here. So here's what you want to do. Clearly you've made a model reasonably well. I think there are some flaws, like the texture is a little bit busted up here. It looks like maybe low sample rendering. And the curves here don't seem to be perfect quarters of a circle on the corners of this iPhone. Also up here, it seems like it's a little bit molten, right? But now you want to take this phone and you want to look up some advertisements for Samsung, iPhone, whatever phones you can find, Huawei, or whatever they got out there, and you come up with some animations based on that. So you try to recreate those, or you take some inspiration from them. And guys, don't try to come up with your own original works, your own original animations and scenes if you're still new to this stuff. You need a lot of experience before you can come up with this shit yourself. Alright? Yeah, so clearly you got pretty decent skills, but now you gotta add something exciting to these. You gotta add something. You gotta animate them somehow. Make it an experience to see this watch, not just a picture. A picture, it's not bad, but you can make it way cooler. You can make an animation which is gonna take me through the experience of this fucking watch. This is what sells, and this is what gets companies' attention. Because now, if somebody... Is my stream fucking me again? YouTube is not receiving enough video. What the fuck are you talking about? Hold on. Guys, is my stream cut off again? It's because I'm connected through fucking Texas. Texas. This is fucking embarrassing, guys. I'm out here streaming in front of what? We got 75 people right now, and I got technical issues. This is ridiculous. I'm acting like it's my first time sitting behind a computer. A brate, da jebote.
Ne može kroz VPN snimati.
A ne mogu, jer ako nije kroz VPN, onda mi ono, sjebe mi se sve. Chat mi se isključi, recimo. Okay, are we back? Fuck me. It's because my VPN is connecting me through fucking Texas. Or America, I don't know why. I'm trying to fix it. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Because it's telling me please use a keyframe rate, a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough, which is I don't know what the fuck that means, but whatever. Tell me if there's a problem. I'll be watching chat. Yeah. So you gotta make your profiling experience. By the way, guys, let me give you a shout out, or let me give a shout out to a friend that I've made on my Balkan Instagram. I want to show you guys an example of an exciting portfolio. We're gonna give him a quick shout out. In my Balkan channel, guys, if you're Balkan, if you speak Hrvatski, Srpski, Bosanski, jebote, if you speak any of those languages around there, I got a Balkan Instagram account for 3D modeling. You can check it out. It's in the description. And follow me there. I just hit 1,000. So I'm probably gonna open up a second Discord server for the Balkan people, so we can bring back Yugoslavia, and I'll be Tito. But anyway, hold on. I'll just share this for you real quick. Okay, so check this out. And shout out to this gentleman right here. But I'm trying to show you guys an example of a portfolio which is exciting. When you look at it, no data. What the fuck, man? A portfolio which is exciting. So you have a bunch of shit going on which you can look at, and it's all like a different story. It's all like a different experience to watch it. It's like a mini movie or something. So when you visit an artist's page, this is the type of shit you want to see. So for example, let's look at, I don't know, let's look at the top. Ice Cube.
Where the love go? It's a struggle. Is this happiness? Nigga, fuck no.
And just for context, this guy is a 3D artist, and he does like 3D VFX for music videos. So for example, in this case, I guess the environment that he's in, the snowy shit, this shit in the background. Then he's got, I don't know, what do we got over here? There you go. Camera tracking and shit like that. So it's all like a different cool projects which you can explore. And you want to try and think of your portfolio as something where you can tell different stories. You can have different, you can give people a lot of stuff to explore, not just like a flat boring picture with no context. You want something happening there. Do captions matter? Well, not really that much, but they can add to it. They can add, someone's gonna read it, right? You explain to them something interesting, they gain something out of it. Now they want to follow you. Now maybe they want to connect with you. Maybe they want to hire you because of something you've described in your in the caption of your post. Let's see if the fucking stream's working properly. It's giving me all sorts of warnings. Okay, so there you go. There's some comments for you. Hopefully I told you something smart. This is a real PC. We don't want to be looking at that. I guess that was a reference image for this one. Okay, let's see what we got next. Mehdi. Mehdi. Mehdi, only 3 posts, so there's nothing really to show here. But just keep making more. This is kind of shitty. Not enough details on this. And the lighting is very boring. This is a little bit better because you got more details and the lighting is a little bit better. But it doesn't look like any pair of headphones I've ever seen in my life. This is a good shot. Just keep making more. Keep making more. This is a nice shot. If you can animate this, that'll be cute. Medhi. Okay. Although it seems that this part here is quite thick. I don't know if it's really that thick on a real can. Yeah, this is cool. You gotta animate that shit. You gotta post the animation. Post more. It is not enough. 3 posts. Looks like somebody who just got excited for one day and they started building this. They got the foundation down. They created an account, profile picture, description. 2 or 3 posts. And then they gave up. They abandoned it, right? That's what it feels like. So I understand that maybe you haven't abandoned it, but this is why you want to get your portfolio up to speed as quickly as possible. You want to pump that shit full of content. Just pump it, put it out there. Put more shit out there. Fuck, how do you pronounce this? Grzegor. Man. Gregor. Anyway, this gentleman right here has got a beautiful portfolio. Okay, guys, first of all, colors. Bright colors. Even birds understand this. Even insects understand that bright colors are the most attractive thing in the world. Imagine if you see a girl walking down the street. She's beautiful, but she's wearing all black. It doesn't grab your attention as much as a girl wearing colorful clothes. It's a stupid fucking analogy, but you understand what I'm trying to say. You want shit to be flashy and colorful. This is why advertisements are always flashy and colorful and loud, so they get in your face. Which is attractive. It gets attention, right? Which is the whole point of marketing in general. So now I see this, like, holy shit, my body feels like I'm about to get an experience out of this. Like I'm about to go through a movie or something. Because there's so many colors, there's so much shit going on. I'm excited. It's beautiful. I guess this is I don't know, this is 3D here. I'm guessing you're trying to showcase your 2D design here. That's cute. We got sound here. That's nice and clean. That's perfect. This is fucking perfect. Challenge to everybody who doesn't know what to do. If you're still starting out with product visualization or something like that, try recreating this exact scene right here. Make the label, make the model, look how simple it is. You got a cylinder in the background with a glass material and a white background. You can't fuck this up, but it's a great exercise because it looks beautiful. So try to recreate every single one of these slides here on this profile. Guys, go look him up and try to recreate this. He's in the Discord as well. And then send it in Discord and tag me if you're going to do it, if you're going to take the challenge. Because that way that I'm going to see who's actually trying to get serious about this shit. I'll see that somebody took my advice, they took it seriously, they actually got to work, and I'll appreciate that. Maybe you get the shot color rank. Particles. You can't go wrong with particles. Although I feel like you should have got through that transitional phase a little bit faster. Where the particles form the bottle, but it's still made out of particles. You want to skip that shit a little bit more quickly, I think, because it doesn't look very nice. But the effect in general is pretty good. And by the way, guys, I'm not sitting here acting like I could do some of these things better than you guys. It's just I'm telling you what occurs in my mind, all right? Warsaw, Poland. Cześć! Dzień dobry. Guys, Warsaw, Poland is the best city in Europe. It's only white people. There's no fucking dirty ass migrants shitting all over the place and stabbing people yet. It's a beautiful, it has a very nicely developed infrastructure by the looks of it. It's very clean, very peaceful. If you sit on the metro or on the train in Warsaw, Poland, people are quiet. Everybody's behaving themselves. Guess why? If you go to Copenhagen, for example, it's a little bit of a different story. Guess why? Yeah, guys, this type of shit is really popular. So this is actually pretty easy to do. You gotta learn a little bit of After Effects. But this type of real life, I don't know if you did this in After Effects. I'm assuming you did, because Blender's camera tracking is fucked up. It's completely terrible. But, oh, anime Belili, telling it like it is, putting words in my mouth. You want to do these VFX things, because if you do this, it's pretty simple to do it. But you can send it to a brand, they're going to be really excited about it. It's hard to fuck it up. You just put an object into a scene in real life. Like you go to the shopping mall and you take a video. Blender plus After Effects. There you go. So you just put their product into an environment, like into the city center or something, and you send it to them. It's pretty simple. You don't have to spend 2 days coming up with different animations and crazy shit. You just make the product land or spin in the city or something. They're going to love it. And now all of a sudden you're that 3D artist guy who sent them that work. They're going to post it. Maybe next time they need a 3D artist, they're going to reach out to you. This is a great portfolio. This is the type of shit you want to have. And see, the followers don't really even matter that much, because it's very obvious from his portfolio here that he's serious about this and that he can do a good job. Fucking crackers. Karthi, the bat. Hey Arijan, please review this. I'm working on a simple product video to improve my portfolio. These are some renders from it. And the video isn't completed yet, work in progress. Okay, so it's a portfolio work, it's not a client project. That's what I like to hear. These are some renders and he's making animation, but I guess this is just like his blueprint sort of. He's making still scenes so you can animate them later on, so you can just make a little game plan for his animation. And this is very smart to do. You sort of design the animation before you make it, I guess. This is a cool shot. I hope it turns out good when it's animated. I would maybe make the floor more reflective. I would try doing that, because then it feels like there's more happening in the scene. I would just try doing that, not saying it would be better. Maybe it wouldn't be better. I don't really like this reflection here. I feel like it should be a straight line. So you don't want to use a disc area light. You want to use a rectangular area light, which is very long and thin. I would try that here. And this material seems a little bit weird on the cap here. It seems weird because it's very rough. It's very rough. Maybe you want to try it, making it a little bit more glossy, so you can see some more reflections on that as well. Just throwing ideas out there. It's gonna be cool when you animate this. This is good. ArtStation. Get an Instagram, guys. If you're going through the trouble of making a portfolio, put it on Instagram where people who aren't artists can discover it. Arijan, AI is giving me anxiety. Why? Okay. The diamonds here don't look very good. See, when you're making jewelry, this is better. when you're making jewelry, yeah, there you go. You want to do some post-processing to make them kind of glow, to make some of these little sparkles or whatever the fuck you call them. Not too many, but you go to a website like, I don't know, Swarovski or something like that, and you try to recreate that scene. Now here I feel like the diamonds, I don't know if this is based on a real thing or if it's like an original design, but it feels like the diamonds look too dark. They should be brighter, they should be shinier, they should be more magical looking. We got plenty of jewelry. Then we got a hand drill. What's that? Client work. Earth auger. What the fuck is that thing? Ah, okay. It's an earth drill. Okay, so you did this for a client. Let's check this out. Power tools. Earth. Is that even a real company? KSP Power Tools. I wanted to see if I can dig up where this ended up going. If it's a client project. Yes, this is their website. Home reviews. They don't have like a list of products or something. That's a pretty shitty website. Nothing to do here. Small engine service. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, what I want to know, the most important thing is your client satisfied? If your client is satisfied, no point in me making comments here. No point in me advising you to do anything. And since it was posted here, it's clearly a completed project, so I'm assuming that you worked with them the whole time and they agreed, they approved, it's done, so I can't criticize it. The mountain in the back looks terrible. I think the moon is supposed to be round. And the water is it's missing details, right? It's just a wood, just wooden boards. You would expect the textures to be a little more detailed, mossy or something, dirty. You know how when it's in the water it gets full of this gunk and shit like that. The boat's too clean. The roof here is too shiny. Simple landscape design. And then there's this clean log back here. What's this thing? First time trying Marmo set 2 beg 4. Too much, the textures are too, the model's great, but the textures don't look right. It's too dirty and it looks a little bit low resolution, and it's too scratched up. What has it been to the fucking battlefield in Ukraine? I've never seen no tracks that look like this. It looks like it's all monolithic, like it's all one piece with the wheels here, or the, what do you call these, the sprockets. And it's not supposed to be that way. And I don't know if these are supposed to be tires. No, that's probably like a metal piece. The rust looks a little bit too intense. It kind of looks like it's been plowing through shit, to be honest with you. Yeah, but from this angle it looks pretty good. It looks pretty cool here. I think you kind of fucked it up with the textures. They need a little bit more work. And the thing is, if you're doing these kind of visuals for like a company or something, Yeah, it does look kind of good. I'm just pointing out flaws so I can maybe give you some ideas for how you can make it better. The thing is, if you're gonna do something like this for a company, you want that shit to be pretty clean, right? Because a company doesn't want to put a busted up vehicle on their website. So I'm talking out of my ass. That's just hypothetically, if that's the direction you're trying to move into. But anyway, yeah, you wanna figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish with your portfolio, because we got these kind of things here. Then we got scuba diving gear. Then we got jewelry. Then we got little environments. So it's a little bit all over the place. And then we got this thing, which is probably like a game asset or something. It doesn't really make sense to. It doesn't really show much. It's a pretty simple object, right? I don't know. It's a bit too much glare here. Let's check the chat real quick. Will AI take the job of a 3D artist? Oh, Mr. Patching. Hello, my friend. Will AI take the job of a 3D artist? Okay, what's the job of a 3D artist? Let's break this down. A 3D artist, hypothetically, he goes to a company, a big studio, and he gets hired to create models of whatever the client is advertising. Maybe it's Toyota, maybe it's Rolex. He has to model those objects and push them through the pipeline to the next guy who's going to prepare the animations, something like that, right? Depends on the size of the operation, depends on who they're dealing with. So typically in these kind of things, he's going to have to do sub-D modeling. Sub-D modeling, guys, is hard as fuck. I don't think AI is going to be able to do that anytime soon, but it might. So what's going to happen eventually, if AI is able to do all these jobs, now the studio is going to say, well, fuck you, whoever it was that asked the question, fuck you, Mr. Minecraft, you're fired because now we got AI. We got AI to do the job for us. Because presumably what happened was some guy like Arijan, he started using this AI to do 3D models by himself, so he can do the whole job of a studio by himself. And he reached out to this studio and he said, hey guys, fire all your fucking employees, because for 1/10 of that price, I can do all your modeling for you. Fuck them. And you're out of the game, hypothetically. So what you want to do is stay on top of the game if you want to be safe. Because I don't know if it's going to take over. I don't know, probably. Probably by the end of the century, we're not even going to die anymore, because we're going to have AI printing our organs, printing a new brain for us or some shit like that. I don't know. So just stay on top of the game. Make sure you know what can be done currently. Currently, they can't do modeling very well. They only make shitty models, but it seems like it's progressing pretty quickly. So make sure you stay on top of this shit. And then if it does get to the point where you don't have to do 3D modeling anymore, good. Doesn't matter. You just got a tool which makes your job easier now. So now you can provide somebody with this service. You can handle more people. You can create more stuff. It'll be faster to make a portfolio. It'll be faster to provide services, to provide all sorts of help to people. So don't worry. What GPU and CPU do you use? I don't even know. Am I gonna get doxxed if I show you guys this? Okay, I'll read it for you. Core i7, no, Core, hold on. Intel Core Ultra 9, 185H, 22 CPUs, 2.5 gigahertz, 32 gigs of RAM, and the GPU's GeForce RTX 4070. Display memory VRAM is 8 gigs, shared memory 18 gigs, approximate total memory 26 gigs. I don't know what the fuck that means. And it's a laptop, so it's a laptop GPU. Arijan, so I'm starting uni this month and I really want to major in graphic design and then implement what I learn into 3D, but everyone is telling me the job market isn't stable. Why isn't it stable? what job market is stable? Who do you know that graduated uni and just went straight into a fucking job without any problems? They never lost a job. Maybe some people, maybe like doctors or something. Every market, yeah, okay. Thomas Collins says the market is oversaturated. Because there's a million people who do 3D modeling, there's a million people who do 1 million, there's probably 100 million people who do graphic design. And they'll do it for free, they'll do it for cheap. Because it's easy to learn this shit on the internet. You don't gotta go to uni to learn this. It's a waste of time if you ask me. What the fuck you gotta go to uni for? Look at my channel. You wanna learn 3D modeling? You wanna learn graphic design? Look up graphic design tutorials. Uni's in that. It's not worth it. It's not a skill which is so special because everybody can learn it off the YouTube, right? So you're gonna be sitting here planning your whole life because you spent 4 years in school. You're gonna be planning your whole life on this career, and then you come out and you see that this guy, he spent 3 weeks learning this shit, 2 months or something, and now he's already able to do probably more. Because I've seen people graduate 3D modeling uni and their models are shit. So what's the point of that? And the person with the cat picture says, I say just keep working for your own happiness, fuck AI. Yeah, but we gotta pay the bills though. We gotta make a living. I'd be the happiest if my job was to drink beer and smoke cigarettes all day. Okay? And get paid to do it. That would be great. And do fucking snooze. Maybe I can pull it off. Hold on, let me try. And I lost my fucking snooze case. Oh, that one's out. Where the fuck did it go? Right there. Oh, fuck it. It'll come around. Hold on, it's gotta be back here somewhere. There it is. You can't just work for happiness, because if you work for happiness, you're not gonna get paid, right? Someone's gotta build the fucking roads. I wish I could sit here and get paid to do snooze, but let's try it out. If I put in some snooze and somebody sends me a Bitcoin donation, in the description there's like a Bitcoin tip jar. You can tip me in Bitcoin, then my dream will come true because I'm getting paid to do fucking snooze. Now where were we? Yeah, guys, somebody's gonna help me figure this shit out because my production skills are not great. Someone's gonna help me figure out how can I put fucking, I mean, I didn't even Google it, to be honest with you, but how can I put my fucking chat on my screen so people can see the chat on my video, on the live stream, so it doesn't look like I'm talking to myself like a fool. Hardworking almost seems useless now. I made something so cool, but someone made a better one with fucking AI. Yeah, that's tough shit. That's how the world works. So here's what really hard work means. It means you understand, okay, you wasted your time so far because you learned a skill which can be smoked by somebody with AI. Right, fair enough. That's the way it is. Nothing we can do about it. I agree. Probably feels like shit, but that's the way it is. So, what you can do instead is recognize that AI can do this shit and now learn the AI. There you go, problem solved. Where is the fun if you use AI to model? Who said it's supposed to be fun? How old are you guys? Tell me that. How old are you? Because I think you guys are going to get hit in the fucking face by life. It's not supposed to be fun when you got to pay the bills. Fun goes out the window. Forget about that shit. When you got to get into the real world, it stops being fun real quick. Inside OBS, you need to add a chat link. Can I do that now, or is it going to fuck up my stream? Hold on, let me see if I can pull that off real quick. Bear with me, guys. Stream. No, I don't think I can do it now. It's all gray. It's because we're active. 20, 30, 23, 15, 21, 20, 15, 27, 20. I'm 53 in September. Who's the oldest? 53 might be the oldest. 15, 15, 23, 19, 25, 25, 14. Alright, don't spam it, guys. One time is enough. You're getting fucking muted. Okay. Let's go back to some reviews. Hand-painted sword, low poly. See, this is the type of shit that I've seen people advertising AI which can do this. I haven't tried it myself. Guys, is there any AI tool which we can check out right now? Oh, Oriko, my friend, how are you? I am 58 and I am a US Army vet. I do this for fun, not to live off of it. Okay, well, in that case, I guess it doesn't matter if AI takes over, because you just do it as like a hobby. Yeah, so I've seen AI which supposedly can do this type of shit. Like, you give him a picture, you give him a prompt or something, and he can create these kind of models. They're pretty low poly, mobile video game type of shit. Yeah, but it's pretty good. I would just make it higher poly, because you can see that it's jagged, and it would be a lot nicer if it was higher poly, right? You can see the, I don't know if jagged is the right word, but you can see the edges here. It would be nicer if it was smoother. What the fuck is that? Look. I can't even send your ass to solitary. Weekly. This was a weekly challenge I made from scratch. Yeah, guys, check out Oriko. Oriko's got some good shit on his profile. He's got the good textures. Incredible details. Only good works on his profile. Emmanuel, please review this. Let's check it out. By the way, I don't have a girlfriend. that's URE34. Why not URE? Tell me, why do you think you don't have a girlfriend? Is it for lack of trying? Or do you think you're just doomed to be unattractive for life? Okay, Emmanuel. Emma3D. See, this is smart. Because his name is Emmanuel. But when you put the name Emma in there, someone's going to think it's a girl. And when there's a girl on Instagram, people are a million times more likely to want to communicate with you because it's a girl, right? That's smart. You don't need this in your portfolio because of how simple it is. But I like that you're playing around with the effects here, and the lighting is pretty good, so that's good. It looks like a metallic basketball. Oh, it's pretty nice. Need something more in this scene, but it does look pretty good. The texture is a little bit shitty. The background's good, the bottle's good, but the wooden texture here is a little bit shitty. It gives it away. Otherwise, it would almost kind of look like a picture. That's pretty good. Modeling cloth and clothing items is very difficult, so it's pretty good. Yeah, you got some good lighting. Gucci fucking padlock. It looks like it's a little bit too curved, where it should be just like a semicircle which is extended. That's interesting. The bread looks good. I have no idea what on earth this ball here is supposed to be. I mean, I get it's a spider, but it looks like a fucking rock. It looks like a potato. That's pretty cool. Good droplets. Yeah, it looks like you're trying to get into like food advertising. So why don't you go ahead and look up something like I don't know, a Twix commercial or something, or a Snickers commercial, or ice cream or something like that, one of these snacks, and look at their animation and try to recreate something like that. Arijan, when I try to model a perfume bottle in glass shader, it looks black and glitchy for me. It happens sometimes, but I don't remember why it happens. So maybe somebody in chat knows. Yeah, so I would, if I were... Man. Okay, now we're in the Netherlands. So now, hopefully it'll work a little bit better. Because now we're in Europe. OBS reconnection successful, guys. Tell me if you can hear me, if you can see me. I don't know what's going on today. Yeah, the stream is fucking with me big time. But check this out. There's an alternative Discord link. Hopefully that one's gonna work. Oh, by the way, guys, we did a fucking challenge on Discord. Man, my internet is terrible today. See, look, I can't even load this shit. Okay, it's because it's Behance. See, Behance doesn't work unless I'm connected to a VPN. The VPN fucked up my computer, guys. It completely broke me. Guys, we did a challenge. And the challenge was create the most terrible model that can possibly exist. Your task is to use topology which is so hideous that it's actually impressive. Alright, that was the task, the challenge. I want to see this type of shit. That was the challenge, to see who can make the most terrible artwork. And then let's get to the really shitty ones. I have no idea how this happened. But okay, you're showing the stuff from the inside, so it doesn't look like it's problematic. But let me see some of the really shitty ones. This was impressive. But I think you need to subdivide it. That is... Oh, man. How do you even fuck it up that bad? This guy made a penis. I think this is the winner. I think this one takes a trophy. That's not bad enough. You're gonna end up in solitary for this. It's too good. That is fucking terrible. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. We're gonna do a little vote. We're gonna do a little vote in the Discord later to see who's the winner of the challenge. Meantime, let's get back to the reviews. Okay, we got a mouse. Shitty edges here. Look. Real shitty edges back here. It should be nice and smooth. You used my tutorial to make this. How did you fuck it up that bad? Yeah, you gotta make that shit smoother. And it seems like you got some... I don't know if these are even textures, but look. The topology is so fucked up that you got shading problems. Shading artifacts everywhere. Yeah, that was excellent. Good ending. It's properly matched with the music. Fucking Elvis popping up. I like the underside. The only scene that I didn't really like was this one here. It feels a little bit messy and chaotic. Excellent. Let's look at another one. I feel like these metal parts here are not very smooth, but it could just be because of the reflections being rocks. Camera work is good. And that's nice. When you got flowers coming out of anything, it gets better. And the rock falls down. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then we got more jewelry. The big diamond here, there's something wrong with it. And also this thing here, this knob here, it doesn't look very realistic. But I'd have to see a real one to point out to you how to make it better. But I think these are quite nice. But again, you want to make them shine a little bit. You want to do some post-processing. You want to do some compositing or something. 17 million vertex cube wins, huh? Bro, I waited for an hour to see my portfolio review and Behance doesn't work. Yeah, but fuck Behance. Yeah, it doesn't want to load. It worked fine last time, but this time it doesn't want to load. Did you guys ever drive drunk? I like the music. The water here, that's a little bit noisy, but like you said, it's a work in progress. The camera work feels pretty real. The POV feels pretty nice. I don't think the car is moving in a way that looks very natural. The one in the front. But then again, I'm not a fucking drifter, so I wouldn't know. How to know a portfolio is really made by its claimer. I don't know what you mean by that. For example, one way you can know that my portfolio is really mine is if I tell you right now, as you're looking at me speaking, that this here is my portfolio, this here is my profile on Instagram. That's how you can know that this is associated with me, because I've personally vouched for it. Can you speak Turkish? No, I don't know any Turkish. Please, Arijan, please, please, check my portfolio. All right, I bet it's Behance again. See, now it works. Okay, we'll go back to the other one. Because now it works fine. See, look, we got Dutch. What do I want to click on? See, when I open a portfolio, what happens is I'm trying to look for something which grabs my attention the most. Based on the thumbnail, so it's really important. See, this doesn't seem that interesting. I'm gonna click on it anyway. Come on. Okay, it's a video. All right, that's why. a little weird. The way it dipped in there wasn't realistic. You would expect some more splashing or something like that. That seems a little bit low effort. I would skip this introduction here. Abdullah presents hot sauce, very hot. Yeah, this flame here looks like it needs a little bit of work. It doesn't really look like a real flame, right? You would expect it to glow a little bit more, to be a little bit brighter. And I feel like this stuff that you got moving around, that's a little bit messy. It feels like it wasn't supposed to be there. Also, you shouldn't make the camera stop moving. So notice how the camera is moving and then it stops. Okay, so there's no more motion of the camera. Don't do that. That is good. See the video. Need some camera movement. We looked at something similar last time, didn't we? It looks beautiful, but the camera movement needs some work. And I think the shadows in the background need to be a little bit better. Maybe if you made them softer. And not these sharp leaves, but maybe just like some smaller, softer leaves. And we got some archviz or something. I wouldn't put a picture up here. And these curtains look messed up, and the texture in the window looks messed up. That's a tiny, tiny ass. That's a sorry ass TV. Make the TV bigger. And put something next to it. Put like somebody's ashes. It seems like the proportions are off. Look at the size of the bed and then look at the size of the sofas. Or whatever you call this little thing. We got some pretty good hard surface modeling here. What about this? Herb grinder. So we can smoke weed. I like the way it's presented. It's like if you open up the website of a company that sells weed or weed grinders, you would see this type of stuff. You know, they take you on a journey of the product. Damn. The ceiling looks like overkill, and the curtains need work. Curtains can be made with cloth simulations. These curtains don't look realistic at all. Because it seems like you just made the mesh and then you squeezed it in here in the middle with proportional editing or something. The cupboard up here doesn't make too much sense. The carpet seems like it was made pretty well. I don't like the floor. Yeah, these ceilings remind me of, you know, when you have like a gypsy house tour or something. That's kind of what it reminds me of. The amount of money I'd put on Arijan smoking weed after the stream is astronomical. Arijan doesn't smoke weed. Arijan, I am just a beginner. Which course should I buy in your website? Blender Masterclass or AR15 modeling course? The AR15 modeling course is still in progress, but it's not going to be for beginners. I mean, you can still follow along, but it's going to be techniques which are not really... it's a very complex project, so it's not really something which is going to be very easy for you to follow if you're a beginner, because there's going to be a lot of really tiny fucking hard surface modeling details. But the Blender Masterclass, that's like a beginner course. So if you're a beginner, it'll put you up to date with all the tools, all the modeling techniques, and everything that I ever used for modeling on Blender. There's a whole bunch of things in there, so go check it out on the website. You can see the contents on the page. It'll just show you everything for complete beginners. And if you want to get into product visualization, then check out the premium product animation course, because that's about creating like a 30-second advertisement for a product. The animating, the lighting, the fucking post-processing, the music, everything, so you can have a TV ready advertisement. And by the way, guys, I do discounts on crypto, so if you want to get a discount, you can pay in crypto. Are you Albanian? Nisam Shqiptar. Yeah, this here, the banner can be better. Okay, so there was another Behance portfolio that I couldn't load earlier, but now it should work. Husam. Let's see, maybe he's just unlucky. We got a statue with glasses. It's not very detailed, so it doesn't look very impressive. At least not in the preview, but there's a video, so let's see that. Ace and Tate. Okay, so it's like a glasses advertisement. Maybe try keeping it simple. Maybe try just getting one statue. And if you don't know which statue, I'll give you a recommendation. Okay, check out my animation here. Check this out. So I got this statue from Sketchfab. Well, I don't know if you could use this one. You probably could, because it was like a photogrammetry or something. And take that statue, put some glasses on it, and just focus on that one statue. And just make like a simple spin, play around with the lighting. Don't jump into the big environments and the big complex animations just yet. Because the environment is too simple. The background is it's quite lame. The pillars here, they don't make much sense. They're not really holding anything up, and just a boring gray background behind them. The water doesn't look very good. But I like the idea of putting glasses on statues, so you got that pretty well. And that one statue, see, this one's a lot more detailed than the next one. This one's very simple. And the main one, this one's also very simple, right? There's no details. No reflections on the glasses or anything like that. Fintech brand animation. Uh-oh. I like that. That's good. And this is good. And this is good. And this is good. This is all good. I just don't like the intro. Because I don't like the environment. The environment doesn't look very realistic. But hold on, I think the nighttime environment looks a lot better. Yeah, that looks a lot better because the lighting is cuter. It's cooler. Oh, it's for drugs. Yeah, you can't use the same environment. And see, this is it just takes off, and now it's just a tiny product somewhere in the background that doesn't make too much sense. But your close-ups are pretty good. I like the way shit gets scattered. That's not bad. This is pretty good too. Clipping. The pill clips through the wall there. You have to reduce the tries on the mouse to make it suitable for game. Okay, fair enough. But if you do that, just make sure that the edges are not busted the way they currently are. That is nice, but the plants are low poly. You can see the corners here. I don't think it's supposed to be that way, but it's a nice shot. Hey Arijan, I'm a big fan of your modeling. I just wanted you to review my portfolio. All these renders are at least a year old, and I have stacked 10 plus animation. We'll be posting 3 posts a week. Many more fresh animation will be posting here. Okay. Okay. Good first impression. Because the previews look very clean. I don't like this though. I like the top 3 a lot. The text is not centered. That's good. Clipping. That's pretty good.
What's that? Brother, ooh.
Baby, do you know that's what
Brother, ooh.
heaven is a place on earth?
How do you come up with this shit? It seems incomplete, but this one was a lot better. You have some overlapping on the lights. Check this out on the reflections here. The light reflections are overlapping, and that makes it look a little bit bad. But the lighting in general is good. Just be careful with the reflections. You need to make these edges a little bit beveled because they're too sharp right now. If you want to do close-ups, that's when the beveling really matters. Yeah, good, but keep posting more in this style here. Yeah, that looks a little bit messed up. Okay, so these blue band things, I like them in this scene. I don't like them in this scene when they're behind the product. They don't seem to suit that well, and here as well. I like them in this when they have some letters over them. That looks pretty good. Good logo too. 24 FPS. Man, I said I'm not gonna eat the fucking crackers with my hands, and here I am. Alright, what we skip? Arijan3D. We got keyboards, we got swords, and we got assault rifles. Let's look at the Lambo. Did you model this yourself? Because if you did, that's very good. The road is shitty. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. You got a line over here on the body of the bottle. What do we say, chat? What needs to be changed? The leaves look a little bit weird in the background. You see, it looked good from the preview, but then when you get a closer look at it, it doesn't look that good anymore because you can see a lot of the flaws. But I think the background's pretty good. Maybe if you figure out a way to animate it to make the leaves swing a little bit or something like that. Let's see the keyboard animation. Okay, first of all, this shit is not centered. So the frame is not good for Instagram because you got like a widescreen. The aspect ratio doesn't match to Instagram, and it's also on the right side. I also think the music is terrible. Let's give it another chance. What about this one? It looks dirty. It looks dirty when it probably should be clean. But the model itself seems to be pretty good. What about the sword? Shitty texture here. Well, it looks like it would serve well in a game. Except for the handle. You gotta get that under control because you can see the pixels. What about the gun? Terrible, ugly bullet. And the gun looks really messy, which doesn't make the render look very nice. The shading is also not very good because you can see the really dark shadows and it's a really dark gun, so it's kind of hard to see what's the shape of the gun and what's the shape of the shadow, right? And it doesn't come together too well because it's not clear what you do. Because on one, you got a sword and a gun, but then you got a keyboard animation, then you got CBD, and then you got these abstract scenes. Then you got biscuits. Then we got light bulbs. So it's like it's all over the place. And it's a little bit confusing. And also get rid of this. This is not portfolio worthy. Because there's nothing about the work which is impressive here. It's just really basic curves and shit. But this is cute. This looks pretty nice. Oh, hell yeah. That is beautiful. It's grainy, so I can't tell if the texture here is messed up or is it just because it's compressed or something like that. But other than these things, it looks beautiful. Okay, then we got some guitar work. I don't like the lighting here. But too much glow. And this hole looks like it got shot with a bullet. To tell you the truth. And too much glow, but otherwise it looks pretty nice. Let's check the guitars. That is good. It's a headless guitar. That is pretty good. Maybe dial down the or turn up the f-stop a little bit so that the areas which are out of focus, they are in focus a little bit more, or they're not as blurry. That is fucking beautiful. Look at that. Good model, but I don't really like the scene. I don't really like how it looks like the strings are glowing and a bit too much noise, and the scratchy surface is not very suitable in my opinion. That is nice. Good fucking guitar modeling. What do you plan to do with these? You got a game plan? Like if there's a custom guitar shop or something like that, maybe you can make some animations for them. Because Gibson and Fender have probably already got their animations down. Maybe they don't. Fucking hell. It's getting dirty over here. That's a weird angle. And it seems like the camera lens is missing key details. Usually they got numbers and they got little knurling and shit like that. I don't know if you call it knurling, but you know what I'm talking about. Little details. Guys, tell me in the chat, are you doing this shit for fun? Or are you doing it because you want to do this shit professionally? Oh, Step V Studio in the house. Shout out Step V Studio. Guys, type in Step V Studio on Instagram or just Google it if you want to see how it's really done. Too simple. The lighting is not good because it's not lit properly. Yeah, these should be animations. This should be animated. I also don't like the lighting here, or nor the particles. This model is a couple months old, but my first try at product design. Let me know what you think. You got a little bit of an imperfection over here. The reflection in this thing doesn't look very good. And it looks like it should be a little bit cleaner surface. Not cleaner, but more smooth. It looks like you got some artifacts going on here. Ash T, thank you, my friend, for the super chat or whatever it's called. Could you go back to my portfolio, please? It's the ArtStation link. Which one is it? Tell me which one is it, and I'll check it out. Hold on, let's hear the music. The texture is a little bit stretched out. Low poly hole. Yeah, the details seem to be a little bit messy. See this part here, this hole here doesn't look like a clean cut. It looks like I went cutting it out with a fucking knife. Bad floor texture. Boring environment and also unrealistic because the floor texture is bad. Where to begin? Hey, that's cute. That is cute. That's like for a cartoon or like a animated film or something. What's this? Clipping through the cloth. It's a low poly. It doesn't look very realistic. It doesn't look like no carriage that I've ever seen. Because why? Well, it just doesn't seem like the elements are blended in together, like the individual little pieces. They don't seem to connect properly. It's like everything seems a little bit too. I don't know how to put this into words for you, but I think if you looked at a reference image of a carriage, and then you looked at this one, you would understand what I'm talking about. So your task is to look at a carriage, a picture, or maybe a top-notch 3D model of a carriage. Let's look at one right now. And don't worry, I'll get back to the ArtStation portfolio in a second. Carriage 3D model. Let me just look one up for you real quick. Okay, let's take this one here, for example. Come on. If we take this one here, it looks better. Why does it look better? It seems like there's a million different reasons for it. So what you do now is you look at this one and you look at yours and you write down a bunch of little differences that you notice. What looks better on this one? What looks worse on yours? What about his lighting? What about his textures? What about his objects? What about his poly count? What about the little details, the structure, the way everything's put together, the environment? And this is how you get better. Okay, let's get to the ArtStation from Ash-T. Ash-T. Okay, what do we click on first? We got a lady, which is all beat up. There's another lady who's wearing similar clothes. Let's look at the guns. I want to see the sniper rifle. I like the background. I don't like the texture on the gun. It seems a little bit too rough and too strong. It's like the bump map or the normal map is too strong. The magazines look a little bit low poly. I'm also not sure that this is a rifle which uses magazines. It seems like a single shot rifle. But maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let me find a sniper rifle for you. Sniper rifle, let's say sniper rifle photography. This is what you type in when you need a good reference image. You type in sniper rifle photography, and then you look at something like this and try to recreate that shot or this angle or this frame. So this background, this kind of depth of field setup, you place the bullets that way, you modify the materials a little bit, but the gun looks pretty good. I would just try to recreate a different shot because there's a lot of this going on. It's not, kind of feels like this is in the way. It's like it almost feels like the scene was set up pretty well, but the person who took the photo didn't take the photo very well. That's what it seems like. The scope seems a little bit too bright also. Let's look at the bayonet. That's pretty nice. The letters here I'm not so sure because they're carved into the blade, the sharp part of the blade, and it doesn't seem to make too much sense. I would make these letters here a little bit thinner, a little bit finer. But it seems like you modeled it quite well. Yeah, you just need to come up with some cooler shots and cooler angles for presenting it, right? Let's look at the girl. Let's check out some titties. Damn, I thought I thought they beat the fuck out of her, man. It looks like somebody made a tattoo in prison with guitar strings. You know they make tattoos with guitar strings in prison. They use like chicken bones and shit like that. This part looks a little bit too shiny. I don't like the buckle. The hair looks a little bit low quality, and the hat also. I like chicks with tattoos, but this one looks like they beat the fuck out of her. It looks like when they brand a cow, like they burn the shit out of her. I guess it's supposed to be that way. I don't know if it's like a game character or something. Yeah, it looks like she just needs some more overall detail. Because her proportions seem to be pretty good. I like the boots. I like this shit around her legs. It's pretty good. Do some more characters. Hair clipping through the hat. Do some more characters. What about this chick? Yeah, hair clipping again. The hair looks a little bit shitty. It feels like her titties are a little bit too in the middle when they should be a little bit more outwards, right? Her skin feels like it looks like a Barbie doll. It looks like it's plastic. And the boots look like they're made out of plastic entirely too, so the boots need some more variation on the texture. And I don't know what's with all the noise, but the noise doesn't look very good. The nades are good. That's pretty good. I'd put in some more shotgun shells here. But wait a minute, she's got a sniper rifle. Okay, she does have a sawed-off shotgun, but it's rusty. It's very rusty. And it looks like there's something clipping from her ass here. It looks rusty, like it's been sitting at the bottom of the ocean for 17 years. The environment does not match them at all. Let's check out the snake. That's pretty cool. What about this? Hikvision. Let's check. There's no sound. These shouldn't be covering the camera. So the infographics shouldn't be covering the product. And I think a white background would probably be better for this. Yeah, get rid of this. It doesn't seem to, because you got 3D modeling going on here, and then this is like 2D drawing or something. So yeah, you gotta pick a direction to move in. Looks like it's modeled quite well. Although we do have some clipping and shit like that. It's just the environment, the lighting, the scene is not set up properly. We got all this noise going on here. And we got this basic ass wet metal surface. So yeah, again, look up a commercial or something and try to set it up differently. And also, this doesn't seem right. Like something's going on with the way these laces are attached to the shoe. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, but it doesn't look right to me. What about this? What about the environment? Original concept, so this is what you were trying to make, and it's what you ended up with. Okay. So again, this is clearly a million times better. And the reason for that is that seems that there are a lot more details on his, a lot more going on his model than on yours. Because there's a lot more features. You got the pipe, you got these things over here, you got details under the windows are dark. You got change of lighting. This lighting is blue. Over here it's not blue. So this needs more work. If you're trying to recreate this, it needs more work. How can I model a realistic pizza? You use Blender. Okay. Let's look at Iron Man. Holy shit. Now that's what I'm talking about. That is serious, and the topology seems to be on point as well. Thomas Cullen would like this. But I feel like the render doesn't look very good. The model is incredible. His lighting is pretty good. But it seems kind of unnatural, right? It's like he's just kind of standing there posing. Maybe pose him in a different way. But it's an excellent fucking model. 3 months to finish the project. That's what I call work, guys. How long does it take you guys to finish a project? I did this a year ago now when I was graduating college. Okay, so I'm guessing that you were doing this for uni or college or whatever. Noise. Yeah, something doesn't look right about these clothes, man. Because they feel like they're too stiff. Maybe you should make the texture flow a little bit or something. Like make them a little bit wavy or something. Try to animate them somehow. And then this shot is not very nice. And it's glowing and you can't really see the colors. Too much to look at. So it ends up being nothing to look at. Ashley, thank you, my friend, for the super chat. Keep up. I will keep. Thank you. I will grind. Love your work. Keep it up. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, so you want to do something where they're not just standing there like they're frozen. It's also very... the lighting environment is not very nice. It seems like there's no textures. It's just like a basic material. So again, you want to look at clothing 3D animation. Google that shit. There's money in that, man. It's a real industry out there for clothing visualization, for fashion visualization. You want to make high heels, these bitches. You know how much money these women drop on shoes, on heels, on dumb shit. It's ridiculous how much money these companies, but they're just fucking shoes, man. You can get them on H&M. Why does your site... Excuse me, hold on. Fucking hell. Damn, cracker got stuck in my fucking teeth. Why does your site decline my Visa card? I don't know. Because for me it just says generic error. I can't do nothing about that. So probably it's something with your bank, or maybe it's the country you're in. From India, credit cards tend to be declined. You tell me why. But I also accept crypto, PayPal and shit like that. So send me an email and we can sort it out. You missed my portfolios right there below the Xbox controller. Fine, fine, fine. Please, 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 please. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, that's a 3D scene.
Ability. Hi, my name is Anuj, and I am a 3D artist.
There's something bad about to happen to me.
Creating stunning visuals like
This spiked my interest. Because it even looks pretty realistic at first glance. It doesn't have to look very realistic because the point made it across. That you can visualize products the way photographers normally do. This is what you do in 3D by computer. So it's more flexible and all this. More freedom and flexibility. Okay, that's good. This kind of creeped me out when you're when you popped out of nowhere. But I like the part where you're flying. And I like the little demo reel. What about this?
So run it down. The sign is up. To run it down. Get your money up. I put money down.
I don't like the music. The music is pretty shitty in my opinion. That's a nice setup. That's pretty nice that you can do this. How the fuck did you do that? With these little things, so you got a little bit of... I can't roll it back, but you guys saw it. Let's see the Porsche.
Down.
Love and lust.
Down. All of us.
Give me a run for my money.
Shitty music in my opinion.
No one outrun me.
Not detailed enough. The interior doesn't have enough details visible, and it's also a low poly steering wheel. So the interior is not very visible. You can just see a bunch of black shit going on, and the details are super important in cars. And that clipping through the window wasn't great, or the windshield. But the outside is pretty nice. It needs more shine. It needs to be shiny and reflective. That's cute. That is cute. No pain, no gain. Although I don't know what the purpose of these kind of models is. I see a lot of people make these, but I don't know why. I mean, I guess they're cool, but I don't know if they serve any real purpose. That's really good. That is real good. Man, that's a fucked up fridge. Or whatever it is, a vending machine. It looks like it survived a nuclear blast. That's what it looks like to me. Dev Muit, thank you my friend for the super chat. We got a pound. We got a pound. We got balls. I guess this is what you call a ball sack. Yeah, cool. You clearly got some skills. And I like the way you presented these products here, because you do them in a better way than most other people do. Most other people just create like a simple fucking shot, like a picture, a still picture, and that's it. But you make it, you animate it, you get some liquid on there. Hold on, let me turn on my lights, guys. There we go. By the way, I got a haircut. I got a haircut. Do I look cute, guys? If you had a daughter and she brought me home with this haircut, would you tell her to get rid of me? That's the real question. I just got sent to the hole. If you like my Bugatti commercial, please get me out of there. Okay, Planet Shacker, but your Bugatti commercial is not going to be enough to get you out of the hole if you got a fucking cat picture. Planet Shacker. Let's see Planet Shacker's fucking Bugatti in solitary confinement. I don't see no Bugatti. I don't know what you're talking about. How is your PC specs to make those incredible things, guys? Yeah, you need a pretty decent PC. Well, you don't really need it. It's just rendering becomes such a pain in the ass if you have a slow computer. It takes forever to render something, and then it fucks up. A lot of times you got to render it multiple times. Then the viewport render is slow. But for modeling, you don't really need a computer unless you're doing crazy high poly shit. Right below the Xbox. Did I check that out? Didn't I? Below the fucking Xbox. Guys, join the Discord. Go to library. If anybody's new here, we got 105 people. Is everybody here in the fucking Discord? If you're not in the Discord, there's a link in the description. Join it, and you can send your works here. I'm not gonna be able to see all of them. Oh, Oriko shared something. I'm not gonna be able to see all of them. There's too many. I'm gonna miss some, guys. I can't possibly get all of them, and they're gonna keep coming in forever until the end of days. You guys are gonna keep sending me these things. But you join the Discord. You ask for some advice from somebody else, maybe not from me, or maybe next live stream you can send it again, and you can maybe I'll review it next time. So sorry guys that I can't view everybody. Hold on, I'm trying to read the name from the person of the super chat, but it's short. System something. Sup dude, love your stuff. I would appreciate if you reviewed my watch visualization called Super Ocean. I pinged you in the server. Alright, thank you for the super chat. Let's check it out. You pinged me. Hello, Aryan, big fan. Oh, I guess he's already in fucking solitary. Okay, what's the name of the watch? Super Ocean. Super Ocean. Hold on. You pinged me in the chat. It's supposed to be like a notification thing here. Okay. Systemated. I guess that's the one. Please let me know what you think of this. It's my first attempt at making a watch and my first attempt at creating an animation. You're getting 2 birds and 1 stone. Oh man.
And there is something special in the way he looks at me. I love the way he plays me.
I feel like it needs more light.
There is something special.
But this is good. Depth of field is what you need here to make the back parts just a little bit blurry. I think the face at the bottom is a little bit too reflective. It's like a mirror. Maybe it's just a shadow, I don't know. But if it's a shadow, that's even worse then. Because it's not supposed to be such a sharp shadow as if there's a lamp directly above it. But yeah, it seems to be completely clear. And you need some lights to highlight these a little bit more, because it's highlighted, but it's just like gray. So it should be a little bit brighter.
I love the way he plays me.
And see, this is completely black, and I feel like that's hiding a lot of the details. You can't see the hands, for example. The thing around the face of the watch is completely black, so this is why you need some reflections. And you can...
For the fool I am.
Yeah, since it's your first animation, that's pretty fucking good. That's pretty damn good. Let me talk to you about my watch. Because I don't know if you did this with the help of my tutorial, but check out the lighting, for example. I made my face more rough so you can see reflections from it, and it's not completely dark. See how my highlights are a lot brighter. Although this part is still kind of dark, I would probably still make some improvements on it. This part should not be dark. That's why you need to place your lights. Maybe like an area light above the watch, one here and one here, so you can see a little bit of reflection on the sides. You want to have lights around it. You're gonna need a lot of lights to make a lot of reflections for a good watch animation. But that's good for a first time, because the model was pretty good. Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, the fuck I am. I hope you're having a great day too. Thank you. Let me take a break, guys. Let me chat with chat for a second. It is hot as fuck. You know, there's something with my room. Man, I'm not gonna complain about the heat this time. Solitary confinement Bugatti, huh? Let's see if the Bugatti in solitary is any good. Oh, I'm not downloading nothing. I'm not downloading. Send some screenshots. Aryan, if I were to say I have a full scholarship for uni, should I go for graphic design / art major, or should I do another major so that I can find a job? Okay, so going to school, in my humble fucking opinion, going to school for graphic design, art in general, is a complete waste of time. Why? You can find all that shit on the internet. Alright? When does going to uni make sense? When you need official certification. Certification doesn't really fucking matter for graphic design. Nobody cares. It doesn't even matter for like programming, really. So it doesn't make sense to go to uni unless you need a paper like you do for a doctor, for example. You need to be officially certified to be able to do that. If you want to be a pilot or something, you can't do this shit without going to school, right? So I wouldn't say go to uni for that. If you were gonna go to uni, go become a lawyer, go become a doctor, go become an engineer, go do something serious, something more sophisticated, where you have to go to school than just art, because this shit you can learn on the internet for pretty much anything. Alright, let's see another one. And guys, we're going to wrap it up soon. Details are missing here. See, it's a very simple object, so you got to be really detailed with the lights, with the little reflections. The environment looks kind of lame, and the angle feels a little bit awkward. This is too sharp. Yeah, it looks like you got to model pretty well, but you need to set up the environment better. Same story here. Although I would say the model's not great either. You need some liquid on the inside. It doesn't really look like glass. This doesn't really look like bronze or gold. This looks too sharp and too simple. Yeah, it seems like you try to create your own scenes from scratch, from your own ideas. Don't do that. Try to recreate somebody else's work. If you want a project, you go to somebody else's profile. For example, you go to mine, and you take whatever, and you try to recreate it. I don't know, I don't have any perfumes or anything like that. You go to somebody else's profile, you go to some company that makes perfumes, who makes perfumes, Versace or some shit, I don't know. You find a little scene that they have, try to recreate that, because clearly you can make perfume bottles, you just need better scenes. So find a way to make your scenes more beautiful. Oh yeah, the boxing gloves from Orico. Yeah, let's check the fucking boxing gloves. Orico, when he shares something, you know it's gonna be good. Okay. That's cool as fuck. I feel like and I guess probably it's largely due to the compression on Discord, but it feels like the texture is making it feels a little bit noisy. But I really like the colors, and this could use some good sound design, like when they pop in. I don't know if you're planning to do that, but certainly I hope to see that. The model looks excellent. That's excellent. I should try making some boxing gloves sometimes. Guys, what should I make for the next video? What should I do? Should we do some guns? Should we do some cars? Should we do some archivists, environments? What should I do? Yeah, no Google Drive links. Just send me pictures on Discord. Aryan, have you thought of starting YouTube memberships? No, I haven't. I don't really even know what that means. Because see, dealing with YouTube, monetizing YouTube itself is a bit of a robbery. YouTube likes to fuck me. YouTube doesn't like guys like me. And you guys, if you follow my shit, you know why they don't like guys like me. And they also take huge cuts. Like, if you guys send a super chat, I think YouTube takes like 50% or something ridiculous like that on super chats. So if you want to tip me, you can send me some Bitcoin. There's a link in my description of this live stream. You can send me some Bitcoin. And I think everybody should be using Bitcoin. So if you're not familiar with Bitcoin, guys, and if you trust my advice and my judgment, educate yourself about Bitcoin and how that shit works. It's really important. Aryan, have you thought of making a YouTube channel? Did you ever get around finishing that mega yacht? No, I haven't, but yeah, that's a good idea because it occurred to me that I want to get back to that. I want to get back to fucking boats because that shit is it's so much fun to make. They're also very difficult. They're a lot harder than they look, but it's very satisfying, and I feel like it will be it's something that I have a lot of passion for, visualizing things like that. Unlike hard surface modeling, it's a real pain in the ass, to be honest with you. For me, I do it because it's a brain exercise and I know it's impressive, so it's a flex if you do hardcore hard surface modeling. But man, it's a fucking headache. It feels like a hemorrhoid. I don't know if there's anybody who truly enjoys doing hard surface modeling. I've been sent to solitary confinement, so I can't send you pictures. Yeah, you've been sent to solitary confinement because you've been spamming. We'll look into that afterwards. I think you should do environment. What got you into making 3D models? Fucking Minecraft animations. Okay, guys. See if we got any more interesting ones. We got to have a look at the guitars. We got some heels. We got another guitar. That's lovely. That is fucking gorgeous. Look at the dust. There's no guitar on earth that isn't dusty and dirty. So that's a really important detail. That's pretty cute. Aryan, check my topology. The bite. Oh man. You know, you can make some pretty trippy animations. You take somebody who's on acid, and this is what I'm making for the course, by the way. I hid the model, but this is the reference image for the AR-15 course. You guys can pre-order it now for a discounted price. I'll tell you a little bit more about that soon, but there's a link on my website in the courses link. If you want to see a full fucking AR-15 game ready AR-15 course, go check that out. But you take somebody who's tripping nuts and you just give them like a circle. You give them a circle, you subdivide that fucker a couple of times, and you just give them some proportional editing or something. And you put them through, that's not working properly now. And you put them through one of these. You give them some visuals like this. Because when somebody's tripping on acid, they can be looking at this thing all night and they'll have endless entertainment. Is there a mobile app or website that you use to manage Bitcoin? I recommend Nexo. That's like a classic exchange. It's pretty good. but they got like KYC and shit like that. I use Hyperliquid. If anybody's in Hyperliquid, man, Hyperliquid's been through some exciting times just now, hasn't it? But if you want something off the grid, just get Zeus. Well, Zeus is like for if you want to receive some Bitcoin and shit like that, if you want to have some Bitcoin out of the system. But just get Nexo. I would recommend you use Nexo. But make sure you educate yourself on these things. Don't just take my word for it. Educate yourself on the subject. If you're interested in finance in general, if you're somebody who cares about financial knowledge, it's really important that you understand how this shit works, because we're living in some fucked up times. The financial system in the West is completely broken. And I strongly advise all of you to educate yourself on this subject, because you're going to get fucked if you don't educate yourself on that. And Bitcoin is a very good way to protect yourself from this. Do you play on guitars? Yeah, you bet I do. I wish Blender would automatically fix topology for us. Yeah, I wish AI would do that. Where are you from? Yes. I'm a product designer. Should I focus on 3D modeling or UI UX design? I got skills on both of them. Well, when you say you are a product designer, that sounds like you're already in that game. You're already established in that field. So use both. Use whatever skills you can. Combine those two skills. Maybe you do like interactive websites, interactive product visuals for websites. Alright guys, that's enough. We've been here for fucking... How long has it been? Give me a timestamp. It'll be just about 2 hours now. So let's call it a day. Make sure you join the Discord. So we're going to do some more live streams. We're going to do some more feedback. You can also get feedback from the community. You can ask me a question. I pop in there from time to time. Make sure you read the rules if you're going to go on Discord, because it's a dictatorship. I'm going to send your ass to solitary like that. Okay? So make sure to read the rules. And thank you guys for tuning in. I hope I could give some good tips. I hope you guys saw something interesting today. If you want to learn more about Blender, guys, if you want to learn more about using Blender in general or product visualization, you can check out my courses. I got some mean fucking courses for that. And also follow me on Instagram. I also got a Balkan Instagram. If you haven't figured out where I'm from, check out my fucking Balkan Instagram. I just hit 1,000 there, so I'm trying to start doing some Balkan content in my own language for my own people. Alright guys, thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll see you on Discord.